Antonio Conte furious after that game, criticising the quality of the players within his squad. We had this to say today about his comments, saying, "I didn't want to single anyone out. I have faith in my players. We need to reflect constructively. Behind closed doors, directors are the first to recognise that something could have been done better at the start of the season. I'm sorry if someone feels I'm wrong when I speak at these times, but there's always a strategy behind it." I didn't want to single any players out. He did single them out, Gab.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he came right out and he said, you know, this squad, except for Godin, are guys who've never won anything. And, you know, other teams buy players from other top sides. And we go and we buy players from Sassuolo and Cagliari. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that they only bought one guy from Sassuolo, and that's Sensi. And they bought Barella from Cagliari. And you know what? Those two guys are both Italian internationals. Sensi, in particular, has been one of Inter's top performers this season. And, you know, to me, this just sounds like Conte being Conte, shifting the narrative, getting his excuses in early, changing the Overton window so people start scratching their heads and say, yeah, look, he really has to make do with a bare bones squad. And yeah, look, the club really are rubbish. Oh, poor Conte. Let's hope they give him a bunch of money to spend in January. That's if you're cynical, you want to believe that. Otherwise, if you're Conte and you really believe what you say, when you say, yes, it's constructive criticism, it's really helpful to go and talk about this stuff, not behind closed doors, but, you know, in a Champions League flash interview afterwards with the whole world watching, well, then I can't help you.
As a player, is there any way you can interpret this as constructive criticism?
No, not at all. As a coach, listen, as a coach, regardless of whether you're playing in the Champions League or the third or fourth division, the one thing as a coach you need is the players on your side. First and foremost. So if you're going to stick a couple of your players in the media, criticising them, basically saying that they're not good enough, then it's just completely and utter bad man management is what it is. And then not only do you have some of your players alienated, you decide to go and try and alienate the board that are supposed to be behind you as well by basically saying, well, this is your fault and it's nothing to do with me. I mean, it's just horrible man management all over the shop.
I mean, you probably get away with it for a little bit, but if you continue to do that, you'll lose the players.
Right.
You'll lose the players, you will, because players just get fed up of it. Just go, what about it? They go in the dressing room, right, and say, during the week for training, and say, hey, what about him? What about him? Big time Charlie again here, throwing everybody here under the bus. Look, he got Barella and Sensi, two excellent players. He got one of the most experienced defenders in the game in Diego Godin. He got I wouldn't have signed him, but he got Alexis Sanchez. He wanted him. And he got the Inter board to go out and spend a fortune on Romelu Lukaku. He actually did not do too bad.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.